I have a question for Daktari. Is it time that we wrote down the qualities of a good leader and went to Kenyans and said, now, if so-and-so, if anyone comes here to tell you or ask you for votes, this is what you should be looking for. A, this. B, is it time we did that in order for Kenyans, just to enable Kenyans make better decisions on the ballot?
Lucy, I don't even think, at coming up with a manuscript of what a leader is the issue. Because honestly, these leaders come from within us. Think of them as our brothers, as our sisters, as our wives, as everything. They come from within the framework of society. I think for me the problem is that we don't question people who want to be leader. Hii historia ya mtu wetu, kabila yetu. You know, this is what has led me to saying hata mambo ya ukabila in this country, ukabila ni ujinga. Hakuna mtu aliandikia Mungu barua na kusema ati mimi nataka sijui kuzaliwa sijui nani. You know, so we don't interrogate. And we have accepted the commercialization of politics in Kenya. So mtu anakuja na mapesa, hata ujui sources ya hiyo pesa ni wapi, anawaambia pigeni laini 50 100. And to be honest with you, these leaders know. Because wananchi cannot listen to them bila pesa. So hata ile arrogance unaona, the disrespect they display to the people, the failure, for example, to do certain things to help transform society is brought about by the populace. Because the populace are saying, me, I cannot listen to you be talk until you
kama una kitu.
Kitu
wanasemanga nifungue, utufungue kwanza. Utufungue kwanza.
I've seen a lot of terminologies. If you go to Luo Nyanza, they will tell you gonya. Release me.
Ukienda sama spray
ukienda Central Kenya, unaambiwa modo wa nyumba. Ukija huko kwetu Turkana, mtu anakuambia sasa unajua mkono tupo elambwi. And yet and one of the things that we have not actually questioned, when somebody is seeking public office but using personal resources, personal money, to be honest, politics in Kenya now has been taken as an investment. When you invest your money into politics, you need to recoup it. And that is the culture we have created.
The parliamentarians at a point actually said as much. They said we use our money to campaign, so we have to
get it back. So meaning then, there is no service to mwananchi.
It's business.
It's business. That's why they go there. They don't question any policies. And that's why you can see today in Bunge, Parliament is dead. There is no representation. And this is why for us at Punguza Mizigo Kenya, we're actually questioning the idea of Punguza representation. What is the value of representation in Kenya today? You know? So I will back to your question, Lucia, which is a very important question. You can write yourself even a manuscript, a list. But are the people making the choices even willing to read that list to begin with? Yeah, because hata ukija, in fact wanakwambiaga by the way mambo ya manifesto webu nini maliza vile unasema alafu utuongeleshe.
Lakini daktari, this is why I have a problem with when we say at the people will not read. An 8-year-old knows how to gamble. Kwani ni lugha gani hiyo betting companies zinatumia yenye sisi hatuwezi tumia in civic education and political spaces?
Ni pesa. Unajua, wacha nikwambie. Do you honestly even need, me, I go back to the basics. Even if we say this is a kind of, who doesn't know that we need leaders who can lead society to a certain level of comfort and prosperity? Everybody knows that. You know, hata wazee vijana wanajua. Lakini what has corrupted our mindset now is the question of money, tribal politics, mtu wetu syndrome. And people forget, hata wakati mtu wetu anaiba, akuji na hizo pesa kutugawia kila mtu. So I think we need to go back to the basics and start actually having a conversation about the kind of Kenya that we want. What kind of Kenya do we want? What kind of leadership do we actually want in this country? And if you were to use example of COVID-19 today, coronavirus today, it has clearly exposed us as a country in terms of lack of preparedness, in terms of our healthcare infrastructure, education, in terms of how we cushion the general public in terms of our disaster and emergency preparedness? We don't. So really we need to go back to those basics, because for me that is the kind of Kenya that we want. Look, other countries perform much better than us. I saw Rwanda lock down the country, and I saw Paul Kagame walk door to door distributing food. I saw Bolivia did the same thing, and they managed to contain COVID-19. But come back to Kenya, we are so casual. We cheered mtu yetu lazima ingie
kwa watu wa corona.
Lazima mtu yetu afanye hivyo. Saizi, and that's why for me we need to begin to what kind of Kenya do we want? Kenya where people actually stealing money for victims of corona. The COVID billionaires. I mean, what kind of country is that? And for me, hata ukisomea we need a leader XYZ mwenye akona hizi qualities,
they will forget.
We still have to question, are we able as a country to actually even sacrifice our own?
That's a question.
No. Umeona the way, if somebody is suspected in this country to have stolen money, what do you see? First, you see press releases from people from their backyard defending. As if pesa ya public haikuibiwa. Unaona? So this for me is what makes me question, okay, what is our ethos and pathos as a country? What value system do we as Kenyans actually can say today? Ukiangalia watu wanaitwa wa Kenya, this is who they are. This is what represent them. Maybe we need to go back, Lucia, to that, because the moment Lucia unasimama watu wanasema anatoka wapi? Ni kabila gani? You know now?
Yeah. Actually, it's a very common thing, because people are like, huyu jina yake inaanza na ni wa huko, and they automatically think you're aligned to someone from where you're coming from.
You're already boxed, and when you're boxed, they even forget the good thing that you actually bring on the table. So for me, I feel that we need to begin to interrogate our society. What is our values? And for me, it goes back to a leadership. Because leadership, if the leadership at the very top is not demonstrating certain value system, then wananchi will normalize certain things. The way now we have normalized theft of public money. And if somebody is questioned, you can see the way they gang up. Yeah. If I were to compare the impeachments of two governors, Babayao, you saw the way Babayao was treated. And Senate almost behaved like a kangaroo court because they did not want him. But compare it to the impeachment of Waiguru.
She got pretty girl privilege.
Yeah, but okay. but look at that. So imagine that is a reflection of our leadership. Senate actually exposed the kind of Kenya that is, the leadership that Kenya has. On the one hand, they change standards because Babayao has to be thrown under the bus. On the other hand, they change tactic because Niaswiti has to be saved.
You know, I actually lost a lot of faith in Senate, and I'm putting this blame totally and completely on Mutula Kilonzo Jr. I had so much faith in Mutula Kilonzo Jr. until Sonko was charged with corruption and he went to defend him. He went to defend someone he should be oversighting. And I think that's the point where Senate lost it. And at that point, tulifatu kujua, manze Senate hakuna kitu.
Yeah, and that's why now, even using that example, a true and honest leadership, I mean, I'm not taking away his training as a lawyer. I mean, you know, as lawyers we are trained. We are told that even the devil sometimes deserves representation. but in a situation like the one Lucia cites, where actually Senator Mutula is actually supposed to be oversighting a county.
Yes.
Then in that case, actually, it cannot appear to represent him.
Exactly.
That's already conflict of interest. Plus, it's also sending a very wrong message. What if Sonko ends up at the Senate? Yeah? How will he behave in the Senate? You know? So I think, and that goes back to maybe a value system. You know, Kenya, like I said when I came to your station the first time, if you look at chapter 6 of the Kenya Constitution, it talks about leadership and integrity. Right from Article 73, talking about values, values of principles of governance. It says that when you take up public office, you should behave in such a way that you are not demeaning that office or disrespecting the people. You know, bring accountability and all those things. So I think the problem with our leadership in Kenya today is that once for them they have acquired that title of mheshimiwa, they don't care anymore. It's no longer about the respect for the office. It's no longer about what's expected of you in that office. It's about how much money can I make? Life can go on as normal.
Kisonga.
Nikitogo tu mheshimiwa, and that is it. So that's why they don't care. I mean, I went to parliament one time. I was summoned by Jeremiah Kioni. I think he was a chairman of the constitutional something oversight.
Constitutional affairs.
The constitutional affairs. So they summoned me last year together with my team. So we went there and they were questioning. I knew I was appearing before a committee of 25 members of parliament. 25. But guess how many attended?
5.
Less than 5, actually.
Ouch.
So I was shocked. I said, these guys, actually some of them even came, signed and leave.
And left.
Because they have to earn that sitting allowance. You know? Wow. So leadership in Kenya is about how much money from
it's capitalistic.
It's capitalistic. How much money you can actually recoup. Yeah? And this is our country is so unique in such a way that, imagine I'm paying you a salary. If you are my salaried staff, I give you a salary. Then you're telling me, for every time I come to that office, you must pay me a sitting allowance. Because I'm doing the work that you have paid me for. It's a misnomer.
Why can't you stand? If you want sitting, why can't you stand there?